Okay, guys, take the belt out. I have to. Okay. Okay. The belt tensioner. The belt tensioner is right here. Right here. So I just take I got the belt off already. Take one of these. It's a breaker bar. And then you just put it into the tension like that. And then spin it counterclockwise. It should, loosen the tensioner. And you'll be able to take off the belt. Next thing I'm gonna do is measure this crankshaft pulley accurately onto like this dot right here. There's a little dot, and then you align that dot onto like the dot that's on the crank pulley. There's a dot right there, you see it? On the crank pulley right there. Boom, you align that to that dot right there. Make sure they're aligned, because I noticed that if they are not aligned, you will have some misfiring problems, because it's very sensitive. You will have it will throw up a coal, and the engine light will definitely come on, because this little sensor right here, it will sense that the crankshaft is off in advance, or it's off its positions. So it will throw up a code if you don't get it aligned correctly. And if you want to get it to align correctly, you got to take out the spark plugs right here. Take out the coil and the spark plugs. And then I usually take, I'll show you. Okay guys, I got the cover out. So this actually, you can peel the cover from the other side. And then just take it off like that. And then here's the crank pulley, and you're supposed to be lined up this little notch on the crank pulley. Where's the notch? Oh, there it is. You're supposed to align that little dot on the crank pulley to like this line right here that's on the sensor. You see that sensor right there? And then, ow, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm going through so much pain, and there's a lot of work to make this video. So subscribe, like the video. Also, I put the oil dipstick. I use oil dipstick instead. I put it into cylinder number 1. And then I turn the crank pulley into, so I can measure if the cylinder it's all the way at the top. So you can spin the crank pulley, and this dipstick will move up and down. And make sure it's all the way at the top, okay? Make sure the cylinder is sitting all the way at the top. And this is how you can tell if it's the cylinders all the way at the top. You can see this thing move up and down. And if it moves all the way up, and then if it moves down again, that means you're going way too far. So you want to just make it go all the way up, and then stay all the way at tip top. That's how you know it's dead center on cylinder number 1. All right, guys. So I'm gonna take off this crank pulley and then realign it. Alright. Okay. Very important note right here. When you're putting on the crank pulley crankshaft, and you're trying to align the dot, that little mark onto this mark right here, make sure you leave it like maybe a 1/3 of an inch off the center. 1/3 of an inch off the center, so that way when you torquing on the on the bolt right here, this thing will automatically move up. I made a mistake last time because I torqued this thing and then the mark, it disaligned. It went too far up because I was torquing this bolt right here and it moved this mark up, so it got disaligned. So now the key is to leave it like a little bit off the bottom right here, so when you turn it counterclockwise it will spin right into the mark. You get what I'm saying? So you leave it kind of like off alignment a little bit, like right here, and then like once you torque it, it will spin up. And it will line up with this mark. So let's see how it goes. This is kind of difficult to put on, actually, trying to measure it up to the specs and everything. So here's the tools that you're going to need to take off the crankshaft pulley. This is one I used, of course, a torch gun, size 21 socket. This is what you need right here to take off this big ass bolt right here. Okay, I'm gonna torque it back on and make sure it's aligned to specs. Okay, I torqued it on and it is pretty on there, pretty good. See the little dot right there on the crank pulley. Let me get some light on it. See that dot on the crank pulley? It's aligned. It's aligned with this right here. See that? Make sure that dot is aligned with this line right here on the sensor. Otherwise, it's gonna throw up a code, like a couple of codes. Your computer will definitely sense it, and yeah, that's gonna give you problems. And as long as you line it up, you should be fine. All right, I'm gonna put the belt back on and change the spark plugs. To change the spark plugs, really easy. All you do is take off this intake and then remove the coils and then take out the spark plugs. Simple. Alright guys, I'm gonna put everything back together. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, man. It's a lot of work trying to film and work on the car, so make sure you do that for me. Alright, I'm gonna put everything back together. Okay, guys, while I'm down here, I might as well just change the belt. So multi-purpose belt right here to remove the belt tensioner. Okay, so you're gonna have to remove the belt tensioner, and first you're gonna have to take off this little cover right here. This little cover that goes like on the tensioner, just like right here. Well, I took it out, and then it reveals the bolt. This one right here, it's a 10mm, and this is a tensioner right here, which is another 10. And then you just loosen it up. But first you wanna, use the breaker bar to loosen up the tensioner first. So you put it right here. This is the tool that I use right here. Use this, put it on there, and then turn it counterclockwise, and then it should loosen up the belt. Once the belt is loose, make sure you remember like the belt diagram, okay? Like where the belt goes and how it's on the alternator, the AC compressor, okay, and everything. And then you remove these two bolts, take off the the belt tensioner. Okay, like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. This is kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of hard. Okay, I'll keep you updated. What's up, guys? I'm back with another Range Rover video. Range Rover Evoque. I got a small oil leak coming from, like, I don't know what this thing called, camshaft sensor or something like that. But I saw there was a leaking oil, as it's leaking oil right now. And to remove this thing, there's like one bolt, two, there's three that's holding it. There's one on the bottom and there's one in the back right here, right there. So just it's tool that you're going to need. It's a 5/16 to get the bolt. I got two of the bolts already. And you take a flathead like this one. Well, first you gotta remove like this little hose right here. Also this hose right here. Be careful with this one because I broke the little thing that was going to the intake air filter right here. So be careful with the hose. And then yeah, it's a little tight spot. You have to squeeze your finger down there to get the bolt on the bottom, which is kind of difficult. But other than that, you take a flathead and you pry it. You just like kind of pry it from right here, and it should pop out like this right here. You see how it's popping out like that? See, it popped out. Now it's loose. I'm going to remove it and then replace the seals because obviously the seal is bad. Okay, we'll see. So as a result of removing the cam sensor, which is this thing right here, I think it's a cam position sensor, and this is a seal that goes on there. It goes on the cam position sensor. I think this seal is gone bad, so it needs a replacement. But yeah, that's what it looks like. It was leaking oil, so I'm gonna go get a new seal. Okay, I got everything put back together. Got the new belt on, put new spark plugs in there. Timing is good. Moment of truth. The moment of truth. I'm gonna start it up. Let's see, we'll start up. There we go. Woo! She's alive. Woo! So I got this little code reader right here. We are gonna see if it's throwing up that code. European 92. I'm gonna erase the code first and then reset it and then start the car up and drive it around until if I see another code pop up. As you can see, I had this code that popped up earlier. Let me erase the code. I had like the crankshaft positions, correlation bank 1, boost charger. I got under boosting, the crankshaft again, intake crankshaft. Yep, know that. Okay. Erase codes. Alright, and then I'm gonna test it out again, drive it around, see if any other codes pop up, and then we'll go from there. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Peace out. See you guys in the next one.